You know, the light, do you mean to have the light pointing away from us?
Yeah, he's doing it different this time.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Well, why don't you introduce yourselves?
My name is Noah Bartolucci.
And my name's Jamal Reimer.
Okay. Let me ask you something. What did you do for your year of service? Noah Bartolucci?
We made a video about the youth year service.
Do either of you have any experience in making videos?
I once filmed a birthday. That was about it, though.
So you're not like pros or anything, right? So you guys are just two average youth.
Yes.
And all you had was the urge to serve.
Yes.
So you don't have to be like special. So you're saying that any youth can arise and serve?
You know, we're trying to get people to realize that
Yes.
the year of service is something that everybody and anybody can do.
That's why we made the video.
So is it ready for us to see?
Yes.
The Maxwell International Baha'i School on Vancouver Island, Canada, stands among soaring eagles and towering fir trees on the banks of Shawnigan Lake. The school hosts over 250 students from more than 20 countries, and its aims are based on Baha'i principles like the oneness of mankind and the unity of science and religion. Youth have been an important part of the school since its beginning in 1988 and serve in many different capacities.
Having a year of service program here gives an opportunity for older youth who have not gone through a Baha'i educational experience to be immersed in a, quote, controlled environment, which is a Baha'i community in a microcosm. It's an organic evolution of what Baha'i communities will have to be like in the future. At this stage of our development, we are very dependent upon volunteer service, and so they are essential in the establishment of this Baha'i school. What it takes is a real work ethic, because if you're not in the kitchen and the food's not prepared and the students are lined up at the door to eat, and so there are many tasks that, even though they may be low level in skill, are high level in importance and responsibility.
Rena Robinson Steiner volunteers in Maxwell's administrative offices and coordinates the student workshop.
It's definitely worth it, my gosh. I just can't say words to express, the bounties that come from just a year's service. But not to go with expectations, really, because God has his plan. And if your plan gets messed up in there somewhere, it can be really burdening. Once you really free yourself from yourself, things really flow, and one is much more content that way and has the confidence to keep going and endure those difficult times.
Not only do we have a need, and we'll have a constant need for 20 year of service personnel at Maxwell, but it is an economical savings of not less than $100,000 to $200,000 a year. And so when you add those two components together, the economical savings and the numbers that are here, you can see that as more institutions develop and more projects and more opportunities develop, that the need is ever increasing geometrically. And so it's not like they just need a few now and then. It is we need more and more, and it's going to grow and increase, not only because of the needs, but because it is now an essential element in the development of the individual as well as Baha'i community life. service.
While the youth contribute significantly to the school contributes greatly to the development of the youth.
Through the experiences that they have here, they grow so tremendously. Well, all of them grow. And it's really gratifying to see the kind of growth that they have. And I love being around them.
Fire! Fire! The youth are on fire! We don't need no water, just let the flames burn higher! 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 We don't need no water!
You have a bond with people here like you have with no one else ever. You suffer together, you laugh together, you live together, you work together.
At the beginning of the year, I wanted to go home so bad. And now I don't want to go home at all.
People are my family. This is my work. This is my service. It's everything.
Alaska is a land of endless expanses and limitless opportunities. It has long been a haven for those who seek challenge and adventure. Its natural beauty and cultural heritage create an atmosphere in which to explore the questions of the soul.
We need youth. They're a real important part of the growth and development in Alaska. So we're, really crying out for youth to come help us because they have the most energy, the most vision, the most determination. So if you long for a family feeling, if you long for challenges, if you want to say prayers at dawn at the foot of mountains and put your soul in touch with Mother Earth, Alaska is a very good place to come for spiritual transformation because it takes a lot of patience to travel on the ferries. It takes a lot of courage to climb into those teeny little airplanes and fly over Alaska to get to the spots that need to be touched by the spirit of Baha'u'llah.
On the Kenai Peninsula in southeast Alaska, Le Barna Petit is a community development project run by a Baha'i family, the Vandrishes. They have pioneered to this region to serve the local community of Seward, Alaska, and to spread the teachings of Baha'u'llah through their work.
We have so many different things going on here. We have a restaurant, we have a health food store, we have a bed and breakfast, we have commercial diving, and we have commercial printing.
Since the beginning of the project in 1986, the Vandrishes have hosted youth who seek social guidance or who just want to learn some occupational skills. The project offers many opportunities for these young people. In the kitchen, under the supervision of Jean-Marc Tesson, a Baha'i from France and a certified chef, they learn the daily routines of the restaurant business and some of the finer techniques of gourmet cooking. They also learn construction and carpentry skills as they help maintain and develop the project site.
The youth can come here if they're interested in people, if they have a firm conviction in the faith, a love for Baha'u'llah, and they want to teach. It is so easy to teach here because people enter the doors by droves and all are interested in the faith. And so they can teach all they want, and we do it all day long.
The Navajo people really just see beauty in everything, like the environment. I can see beauty in everything now, and it's an amazing quality to have.
Carrie North of Santa Clarita, California, left college for a year to volunteer at the Native American Baha'i Institute in northern Arizona.
One of the advantages of being here, especially at Navi, is that I've been able to participate in a lot of ceremonies, like 3 Kanaftas, which are the puberty ceremony for the female. One thing about the ceremonies itself is that the whole family gets involved, and it's very united. Also been to powwows. Those are really excited to feel the beat of the drum. It's just that you feel this beat in your heart. It's wonderful. It's like the rhythm of life is what you feel when you feel that drum.
Carrie blended in well with our people. Navajos took her in completely, and the complete trust there and she became close to us. She became part of our family. She was like a daughter to me, and to one of the grandmas close by, she was her baby. She would say, Yat Esha Awet to her all the time, meaning hello, my baby in Navajo. She was very spiritually prepared. I've seen her go to the traditional prayer hogan. Sometimes I would go up there to refuel the eternal peace flame, and she would be up there praying. And so we would pray together and see that all is well with the hogan.
I just know that this I really needed. I really needed this year.
During her year of service, Carrie learned the value of education.
I'm really excited about going back to school and learning. I see education now as a tool for me to use for the Baha'i faith. And now I am just so excited about the writings and really, it's like just this big door is open and there's so little that I know, but I just so much that I want to know. That is the focal point. That is what is the base of everything.
I think when you think of youth, you think of vitality and energy. And here, the Navajo Reservation, that's what we need.
Rejoice, for God had in this day established upon thee his throne, had made thee the dawning place of his signs, and the day spring of the evidences of his revelation. Call out to Zion, O Carmel. The entire Baha'i world turns with devotion and humility toward Mount Carmel, on which stands the council chambers of the Supreme Baha'i Governing Institution, the Universal House of Justice. The Baha'i World Center, situated in Haifa, Israel, requires a rapidly growing number of volunteers from every corner of the globe. Races, creeds, and colors mesh here in a living tapestry of selfless service to the cause of God. Youth have a special place at the World Center. The uniqueness of service in the Holy Land is felt and cherished by all.
I think it's a special experience, especially for me coming from a place where we don't have a very strong Baha'i community. It's really a bounty to be here.
When I was decided I want to come here to do service, they're so shocked. They say, you are crazy, You're going to that country, the special country. The people, they don't like the foreigners, and why you go there? Here is a nice place and nice people, so don't worry about me. I will be okay here.
At home, I was being alone for my whole life. I've got no other sisters. So here, I've got so many sisters and brothers here. I don't believe it.
You get to meet so many people from all over the world, and therefore you get a much broader view of what the position of the world is and who's out there, So as Baha'i youth, we can come together and get a much broader global vision.
1023 or Unit 22, being here at the World Center is greatest advantage. One is you are next to the threshold of Baha'u'llah. Being in security department is again another advantage because I'm privileged to be at the shrines when nobody else is there, like when I'm doing night shift, which is the first special bounty to me as a Baha'i.
It would be very important to consider the youth year of service as an essential part of the education of our own youth, but an education that looks at the entire development of a human being.
In recent years, Honduras has become one of the most rapidly growing areas in the Baha'i world. Since January of 1991, over 20,000 new believers have entered the faith. The teaching work has reached all parts of the country, and in every region, youth are at the forefront.
Youth can move the world, but they have to do something. That whole verb of can is an action. Can move, you have to get up and move. and you have to move yourself before you can move the world. And that's what we're doing in Honduras. You know, the youth, the Garifuna youth, the Latin youth are rising up, and they're moving themselves, and in that process, they're beginning to move the world. For example, in Honduras, we have 6 permanent teaching teams right now. The youth are definitely the ones that are these, as we say in Spanish, the chispa of the entrance by troops, the spark. They can go to teams that are on the beach, they can go to teams that are in the mountains, they can go to teams in the jungle. But wherever they are at, they're serving Baha'u'llah, they're learning a new language, they're being supervised, they're given activities by the institutions. With very few exceptions, everybody on the team is a youth. One of our youth became a Baha'i at 16, and now he's a team leader, and he's 17 years old. He's one of the best teachers that we have in Honduras right now. Among the pioneers, there is no pioneer that can teach as well as this 17-year-old boy. The experiences of the youth in Honduras have been very positive. By the time they're finished with their year, they've gone through a maturing process.
Deep in the heart of the Mosquito Coast, Project Bayan is a rural hospital in the village community of Palacios. It was founded by 2 Baha'i families from Iran and the United States. Since the project is the only hospital in the country's southern region, Bayan serves an area of over 100 square miles. A 7-day walk from the nearest town, the hospital must generate its own electricity using gas and a few solar panels. And even food must be shipped in. Even with these conditions, life is made easier by the love these families share. Youth have participated in the project since its beginning and are vital to the success of the hospital.
Project Bayan depends very much on youth coming. It has many benefits both for us and for youth. Living in this isolated place, we don't have aunts and uncles and grandparents. And the youth that come can provide adult and grown-up brother and sister or aunt and uncle type of situation. And it really is an inspiration to our children. And we really do feel like when youth leave here that they are part of the Bayan family because they give a lot. And it means a lot to us.
It seems like God has a character development program for every Baha'i. And coming to Project Bayan seems like what I needed to learn to be a Baha'i. I learned from the pioneers, from the example that they set, from the things that I do on a day-to-day basis. To be able to take a canoe, take a speedboat, talk over ham radio, everything in life is different here. I could wake up in the morning, teach class to one of the pioneer children, help out with lunch dishes or with making lunch. Go in the afternoon, teach class, children's class to a village, study class, come back, pump water for us to be able to drink and to bathe. If there's an emergency, help out in the hospital. Just do whatever that needs to be done. It's amazing to these people in villages. The young people from the United States, from their comfortable life, choose to come and spend the night in these villages and spend weeks at a time here talking with them, showing them the love of Baha'u'llah. Baha'i youth can show the world that this faith is alive, it's growing, and it can set the world on fire. It can change the world, it can move the world. I've learned more on this period of service than I could have ever contributed to the faith of Baha'u'llah, and it must be His mercy.
Could you imagine what the Baha'i world as a whole would be if everyone had done their year of service?
That's something parents really have to understand, that year of service is one of the greatest educational opportunities you can ever give your kids, ever.
it makes the little kids look up to you and say, man, I want to become like that guy. I want to do a year of service.
The youth year of service can do what the Peace Corps has not been able to do. You know, the youth year of service provides the faith with ambassadors, provides the faith with people coming from other cultures, other countries to this country to serve the faith, to present the message of Baha'u'llah.
The year of service is this institution that could be so much greater if so many more youth came in and did it.
To ask the friends to do that is very reasonable, and it is really needed.
I'm a young person. I could be partying, I could be going to school, I could be having a real good time. But I've decided to give some part of my life in the service of my faith. And it makes a big impression on people that these guys are really doing this, okay? And it's not just 1 or 2 or 20 or 30 a year, but it is hundreds of people a year.
It's needed now. The world is changing fast.